Hello students, welcome to the video class for the subject switchgear and protective device. This is for 6th semester diploma electrical engineering students. So today we will start with the chapter 3. The topic is fuses. Fuse. Okay. So let's start. First of all we will focus about the definition of fuse. What is this fuse? So fuse is a short piece of metal inserted in circuit which melts when excessive current flows through it and thus break the circuit. So fuse is a short piece of metal inserted in the circuit which melts when excessive current flows through it and thus break the circuit. Okay. So like see, this is one circuit. This is the one circuit, and here see, here the fuse is connected like this. So when normal current is flowing in this wire, it is in closed circuit mode. But when the fault current or excessive current flows through this wire, then this wire reach its melting point and it melts, and then hence it breaks the circuit. Okay, so the fuse element is generally made up of material having low melting point, high conductivity and least deterioration due to oxidation. That means silver, copper, these elements or these materials have least deterioration due to oxidation. Okay, so it is inserted in series. It is inserted in series with the circuit to be protected. I already told you the fuse is connected in series with the circuit. So how it works? See, when means under normal operating condition, the fuse element is at temperature below its melting point. Okay, so therefore it carries the normal current without overheating. So when short circuit or overload occurs, the current through the fuse increases beyond its rated value. This raises the temperature and fuse element melts or blows out and disconnecting the circuit protected by it. Okay, so in this way fuse protects the machines and equipments from damage due to excessive current. Clear? So the time required to blow out the fuse depends upon the magnitude of excessive current. That means the greater the current, the smaller is the time taken by the fuse to blow out. In other words, the fuse has inverse time characteristics, inverse time current characteristics. This is showing the inverse time current characteristics. How? See, here the current is current in the fuse is, when the current is in higher level, the time is lower, but when the current is lower, the time is higher. Clear? So see, this is a 60 ampere fuse. So if current is here, then the time position is here. If current point is here, the time is. How you decide? See, I choose one point at this curve, so I just draw x-axis and y-axis coordinates. So see, this is, so here the current level is 200, then time is at this point, let it be 0.6. If the point is like this, so here the current is 500, so the time is like 0.15. Understood? So the greater the current, the smaller is the time taken by the fuse to blow out. So this is the inverse time current characteristics. Understood? So what are the advantages and disadvantages of fuse element? So see, what are the advantages? So it is cheapest form of protective devices, means it is the cheapest of all the protective devices, and it is easily available. It requires no maintenance. Its operation is completely automatic. Okay, so unlike circuit breaker, because see, circuit breaker require relay arrangement. So circuit breaker operation is depends on relay. Okay, but in the circuit breaker operation, circuit breaker only break or make the circuit, but it does not detect the fault. Okay, because relay detect the fault and gives signal to the circuit breaker, then only circuit breaker works. But fuse is the device which can detect and detect the fault and protect the circuit, so it is automatic. It does not require elaborate equipment for automatic operation. Okay, so and fuse break heavy short circuit current without noise or smoke. Yes, the smaller size of fuse element impose current limiting effect under short circuit condition. Okay, the smaller size of fuse element impose a current limiting effect under short circuit condition. So the inverse time current characteristics of a fuse makes it suitable for overcurrent protection. The minimum time of operation can be made much shorter than with the circuit breaker. So these are the advantages of fuse. Then what are the disadvantages? See, its disadvantages are considerable time is lost in rewiring or replacing the fuse after each operation. Okay, so and on heavy short circuit, discrimination between fuses in series cannot be obtained unless there is sufficient difference in size of the fuse concerned. The current time characteristics of a fuse cannot always be correlated with that of the protected apparatus. So this is all about advantages, disadvantages of fuse. So the next is the desirable characteristics of fuse element. So what is the desirable characteristics? See, so desirable characteristics are low melting point. It is like low melting point is in tin and lead material. Then high conductivity, it is in silver and copper material. Then free from deterioration due to oxidation, it is in silver material. Then low cost, it is of lead, tin, copper. So these are all the desirable characteristics of fuse element. Okay, so the next is fuse element material. So what are the material we should use as a fuse element? Okay, so the most commonly used material for fuse element are lead, tin, copper, zinc, silver. Okay, so for small current up to 10 ampere, tin and alloy of lead and tin. Okay, so tin and alloy of lead and tin. Alloy means it is the combination of lead and tin material. Lead is of 37%, tin is of 63%. Okay, this is used for making the fuse element for up to current 10 ampere. For larger current, copper or silver is employed. But usually we tin the copper to protect it from oxidation. Okay, means we are using copper metal and tin coating is there over the surface of the copper, so it should protect the copper from oxidation. Then zinc is good if fuse with considerable time lag is required, that means one which does not melt very quickly with a small overload. Okay, so the present trend is to use silver despite of its high cost due to the following reason. See, it is comparatively free from oxidation, it does not deteriorate when used in dry air, the coefficient of expansion of silver is small, that no critical fatigue occurs. Therefore, the fuse element can carry the rated current continuously for long time. Then the conductivity of silver is very high. Okay. Then the due to comparatively low specific heat, silver fusible element. So silver has comparatively low specific heat. So silver is a fusible element, can be raised from normal temperature to vaporization quicker than other fusible element. So the resistance of the silver increases abruptly as the melting temperature is reached, thus making the transition from melting to vaporization almost instantaneous. Okay, so the operation becomes very much faster at higher current. Okay, so due to low specific heat, the operation becomes very much faster at higher current. And then silver vaporizes at a temperature much lower than the one at which its vapor will readily ionize. Therefore, when an arc is formed through the vaporized portion of the element, the arc path has higher resistance. As a result, short circuit current is quickly interrupted. So these are all the characteristics of different fuse material. Okay, so then we have to learn some important terms related to fuse chapter. So the first one is the current rating of fuse element. So what is this current rating? So it is the current which the fuse element can normally carry without overheating or melting. This depends upon the temperature rise of contact of the fuse holder, fuse material and the surrounding of the fuse. Okay, then next one is the fusing current. So it is the minimum current at which fuse element melts and disconnect the circuit protected by it, and obviously its value will more than the current rating of the fuse element. Okay, so see the relationship between fusing current and diameter of the wire. I is equal to kd to the power 3 by 2. This is the relation between fusing current and diameter of the wire, where k is the constant and it is known as fuse constant. Okay, so this is the table given over here for different material and value of k. Accordingly, the value of k fuse constant for different material. Okay, so the fuse current mainly depends upon material of fuse, length and diameter, size and location of terminals, previous history, types of enclosure used etc. And the next one is the fusing factor. So it is the ratio of minimum fusing current to current rating of fuse. Okay, so minimum fusing current divided by current rating of fuse gives us fusing factor and is always more than 1. So this is the see this figure. This is the first loop when the fault occurs. This is the asymmetrical current loop. So when fault occurs, this is the maximum peak to which the current can reach. Okay, but here this is the cutoff current. So at this point A, the fuse element is actually melts and the circuit is break. Okay, and then at this point fault occurs and this point is the cutoff current point, and from these to this is the pre-arcing time, and from cutoff current level to this current zero where arc finishes, this is known as arcing time, and the total operating time is a combination of pre-arcing time and arcing time. Clear? So this is, let's see. So first coming over here is the prospective current. So what is this prospective current? See, the fault current would normally have a very large first loop. This is over here drawn. This is the large first loop of fault current. This is the large first loop of fault current. Okay, so the fault current would normally have very large first loop, but it actually generates sufficient energy to melt the fusible element well before the peak of this first loop is reached. So the RMS value of this first loop of fault current is known as prospective current. So the prospective current defined as that is the RMS value of the first loop of the fault current obtained if the fuse is replaced by an ordinary conductor of negligible resistance. Then the next term is the cutoff current. It is the maximum value of fault current actually reached before the fuse melts. Okay, so this is the cutoff current and here the fuse melts, which is actually occur. Then now you understand cutoff current. The cutoff value depend upon current rating of fuse, value of prospective current, asymmetry of short circuit current, etc. Okay, so the next one is the pre-arcing time. So it is the time between commencement of fault and instant when cutoff occurs. And then arcing time, this is the time between the end of pre-arcing time and the instant when an arc is extinguished. And the total operating time is the sum of pre-arcing and arcing time. And the last term is the breaking capacity. So it is the RMS value of AC component of maximum prospective current that a fuse can deal with at rated service voltage. So this is the breaking capacity of fuse. So these are all the different technical terms related to fuse. In next class we will continue with types of fuse. Okay, thank you.